Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Another homemaking video here for you guys today where we are talking about cabbage rolls. One of the reasons I wanted to create this video was because I do think that homemaking has kind of lost its touch in this day and age. As a young mom, I think that it's really important to know these sorts of skills, and so that I hope that my channel can give you some motivation to get some homemaking done and just really and truly have fun with it. And so I'm so excited to bring you guys these recipes from my gran. These are literally from my grandma, and so they are near and dear to my heart. Make sure that if you're new here, you hit that red subscribe button, turn on that bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. I do like to upload homemaking videos and cleaning videos and basically all things in the home that have to do with motivation. So if you like videos like that, you know what to do. So if you want to learn how to make cabbage rolls, we're gonna get on into the video. The first thing you're gonna do is you're actually gonna freeze your cabbage overnight, preferably a few days prior to making your cabbage rolls, so that the cabbage just comes off like this. So what you do is you core your cabbage, take off the bottom part of it, and then freeze it in just like a plastic bag. And then what happens is it makes it so the cabbage just peels off nicely like that. So then of course you're gonna peel all of the cabbage leaves off of the cabbage. So you wanna make sure that you thaw it the night before, making sure that it is completely thawed, and then you're just gonna go ahead and nicely peel off the leaves. Then it's time to make your filling, and so you want to make sure that you chop an onion up nice and small, and then you're going to go ahead and fry it. As the onions are frying, I also like to put my rice in the Instapot so that it can just get nice and cooked up really quickly rather than having it sit on the stove for like an hour. So go ahead and whip out your Instapot for this recipe. It really saves you so much time. You can also cook the rice ahead of time if you want. Now that the rice is fully cooked, you're gonna make the filling. You're going to need 5 pounds of meat, 1 large sauteed onion, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of paprika, and 4 cups of cooked rice to 1 large head of cabbage. Mix all of those ingredients together nice and good, and there you have your filling. The next step to this process is getting rid of the veins on each head of cabbage. So this is very, very time consuming. I highly recommend doing this with somebody. Of course, it can be done alone, but the process is sped up significantly if you do it with someone else. So you'll notice here I am filling the cabbage rolls while my mother-in-law is veining them. You'll notice I am keeping the pieces that I'm cutting off, and that is because when you go to cook these, you want to make sure that you put some cabbage leaves on the bottom of the pot. So go ahead and roll your cabbage rolls up nice and tight. You want to make sure that the cabbage rolls are tight so that they do not fall apart, and then you just push in the edges like this, and that is how you complete your cabbage roll. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video where I will share with you how to actually cook the cabbage rolls. So bringing you guys in a little bit closer, you want to leave about 1 inch or so on either side of the cabbage roll when you're rolling them. And you'll notice how I kind of tuck the meat in as I'm rolling it. This ensures that the meat and the cabbage roll just stay together. I get asked all the time how to get them tight and how to keep it together without them falling apart. And that is my best tip, is just to kind of fold it under and roll it as you're folding it under and the meat together, and you're gonna have the perfect cabbage roll. A couple things to make note of is I would recommend not using extra lean meat. Normally that's what I buy, but for these cabbage rolls, you don't want it to be too dry. Another thing you can do is you can use about 2 pounds of ground pork to 3 pounds of beef instead of using all beef. But again, for this mixture, I just used all ground beef. So repeating the process, you're just gonna go ahead and take all of the cabbage rolls and use the filling until you use all of it. Now, I often get asked what to do with the leftover meat and stuff. So one thing you can do is you can make lazy man's cabbage rolls, and you just make sure that you keep the meat. You can put it in like a little muffin tin or something if you wanted to, and cook the meat like that. You can make it into meatloaf. There's so many options you could do if you do have a lot of meat mixture left over. However, in this recipe, I didn't have anything left over. So when you're cooking these, what you're gonna do is you're going to either cook them in a large pot on top of the stove, or you can actually throw these in the crock pot for a really easy dinner. Now, to avoid burning the cabbage rolls, make sure you place some cabbage leaves on the bottom of your pot. You're gonna put the cabbage rolls on top and mix a can of tomato soup with water and pour it over top of the cabbage rolls. Then you kind of want to fill the pot with water just enough to kind of cover the cabbage rolls and add about a 1/4 cup of vinegar. You're going to bring it to a boil on the stove and then turn down the heat and cook it on low to medium for a few hours. If you're cooking it in the crock pot, you're going to cook it on high for 4 hours, and then you can turn it on low or warm until you're ready to serve it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you found value in it and you enjoyed the homemaking that we did. If you like videos like this, again, make sure you give this a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys in my next video.